The idea for walking on logs came to me as I had a good friend who's a musician named Hub Miller, who had one time composed a song called Walking on Logs. And part of the verse goes, walking on logs is like, and he described various things that kids, how you felt and how you acted walking on logs. He had died some years earlier, and I thought it would be an ideal fitting for this natural environment of kids walking on logs. And I was so delighted to have the opportunity to do it, working within the whole West Seattle community. There were, I think, 3 or 4 agencies, Seattle Arts Commission, the Neighborhood Department of Neighborhoods and so forth, that Earl Cruzon had been active in creating art for West Seattle. That was a great experience for me to have this challenge and pleasure of working for something that would be out in the community. It was a delight to do it. It had its ups and downs, obviously. But part of it was a lot of it was a learning process also. I dealt with some landscape students at South Seattle Community College, which is not West Community College, located in the same area there. So we integrated a lot of the community with the sculpture. So that was part of the additional pleasure in doing a sculpture like this. The murals of West Seattle were all part of Earl Cruzon's great project for doing art in the area. It's part of the greater community that we need to enrich our communities to the best of our abilities.
Speak to the appropriateness of the location of this particular sculpture.
It's an interesting location. You can view it going up the hill. I had made some silhouettes that we would place on location to find a good location for it. And it's easily visible driving up the hill, up the freeway, but coming down you really have to concentrate on the road, so you can really see it going up but not down. As far as the location, it's not as gorgeous as it is now, but it was helped by the landscaping that was done and the saving of the water problem that underlying the area. A lot of drainage that Earl, among others, had solved to keep the ecology really going well here.
Talk to me about comments that you have had about this sculpture. What do people say when they respond to it?
Well, it's pretty simple as far as just they like it. That's about it. We didn't get into any conceptual terms about it. One of the issues that to me has come up is when you talk about kids, it's always a vague time period of how old are kids? How old are you going to present children as children? That's a great age span. It's one of the aesthetic problems you have to deal with as an artist, saying what age is this? I tried to do an age that was had a little range in it. I tried to do an ethnic kind of diversity in the figurative thing. Mostly I was interested in the action and movement of the figures, 2 males, 2 females, and so forth. Or diversity and a lot of movement. That was the essence of it. The great underlying aesthetic philosophy of this, I don't know whether that comes into play or just the sheer joy of, I probably enjoyed walking on logs and climbing on rocks and all these things myself.
Describe where this sculpture fits in your own life's career work. How does it compare?
The only way I can compare it is it was a sense of working with the community to a larger degree than than the other public works that I've done. As I say, there were, I think, at least 4 community meetings voting on the 3 finalists for approval. Approval by the Seattle Arts Commission, the Highway Department, I believe, had approval on it. I think the idea of working within a whole framework and realize you're just one aspect of something that is being done by everybody. Everybody's interests are going the same direction. I can only rate that as a good experience in having to deal with a lot of people with what you're doing, what changes you can make that are pleasing to myself and to the people that I'm dealing with. You get a lot of input when you go through a process this way. I've always felt that a good idea has some range to it for making changes from other people's interests, knowledge, desires. It's a satisfying piece in the sense that I'm happy with it, and most of the people that I've talked to, at least the ones that are positive about it, have expressed it that way.
Finally, we all know that this sculpture gets dressed up from time to time. Describe your feelings about all of the t-shirts you see here every once in a while.
Technically, I think this is vandalism. I don't want to be aggressive about it, but that's what it is. This is a piece that nobody wants to do anything and make changes to the murals. Why pick on the sculpture to do it? It would be called vandalism for the murals. Why isn't it vandalism for this? I mean, there's opposition to family and friends on this, but it's not an interactive sculpture. I appreciate the community liking it, but if they like it, take care of the grounds around it.
Anything else we should cover?
No. I just love this. I love the fact that it's still here. It was constructed well enough that it's enduring and permanent materials and well done. And it was a time of my life that was some of it was hard physically that I got through, and the ecology problems that we got through were good. So there are a lot to be gained and learned and enjoyed from this.